Welcome back. We're going to make one more quick video on our selection structures. We'll kind of bring it all together in terms of just like one program and see how we can put the IPO process from chapter 2 into the selection process of chapter 3. So here I have a little problem that I made up. We're going to design a program that will display the total cost of a widget purchased, each widget being sold for $2.25. We're going to apply a 10% discount to the total if the number of widgets purchased is greater than or equal to 10. We'll apply a 20% discount to the total if the number of widgets purchased is greater than or equal to 20. Okay, so regardless, we're going to sell them at a price at 225 per piece. But if we do go over 10 or over 20, we have that discount that we have to apply. So let's think about how we're going to organize this. First, let's come in here and we'll start our program. Okay. I'm going to make my declarations. Okay. In this declarations, I'm going to list out all the variables I might need for this. So first and foremost, I think it's pretty obvious. We're going to input a number of widgets into this problem, and that's going to be an integer. We can't have half a widget, so we'll have an integer value for widgets. Okay. We're also going to have a total amount for the price that we're going to have to pay after we buy X number of widgets. So maybe we'll have a real value that is going to be our total. Okay. And the last thing I'm going to do is kind of have this value here at 225. Now I could hard code that in my program, but honestly, it's nicer to have a named constant in my program so it just looks a little better. And that way, if something were to change, if this price were to change, go up, go down, whatever it is, I don't have to change it in lots of little spots. I can change it in one place. What I like to do here is I'm going to come up with a constant real value that is the price per widget. Now I'm going to all caps that because I know it's going to be a constant. I'm going to make that equal to 2.25 right here in the declarations. No reason to do anything else. It's not something I'm going to set later on or change. So when I go into my program, I'm just going to hard code price equals 225 and I'm going to write it just like that, which is really nice. So having that in my declaration just so I know what it is up front, really a good idea. So first thing we're going to do is we are going to input for the number of widgets. So let's get our input for that. Okay, input our widgets. Then we'll move into, well, this is our input section. Move that down. We'll get into our processing section. And this is where we will calculate the total and then figure out if any discounts are applied. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set my total equal to the number of widgets that I input times the price per widget. That should give me the total. So if I had 10 widgets at 225, I end up with, $22.50. Okay, not a big deal. But remember, there is a discount applied if I buy X number of widgets. A 10% discount's applied if I purchase 10 or more. A 20% discount is applied if I purchase 20 or more. Odds are the 20% discount is going to happen less frequently than the 10% discount. Okay, so I'm going to weed that one out first. So I'm going to say if the widget value is greater than or equal to 20, then I am going to make sure my total has a 10% discount, which essentially means I'm paying 90% of the total price. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my total to be equal to whatever the total was times 0.9. That'll give me my 10% discount. Could I do some other math to do that? Sure, I could calculate what 10% is, subtract it off, so on and so forth, but this will do the exact same thing. Now, if it wasn't greater than or equal to 20, it may still be greater than or equal to 10. So I'm going to say else if here and see if widgets is greater than or equal to 10. Then I want to do, this was supposed to be a 20% discount. So let's change that to 0.8 for the same reason as it was before. But we're going to set the total equal to the total times 0.9. Okay. The same reasons I had before. If I get greater than 10, but not greater than 20, I want that 10% discount. If I end up greater than 20, then I want that 20% discount. Now, if I don't have either of those, I just want the total to be what it is. So I'm not even going to have an else to this because I don't want to change it. The widget, the total is the total. It is what it is. So now it's time to get into our output section. Okay. In that output section, I'm simply going to have a display, and we will display the total. And that is our program. So there's my flow or pseudocode for that program. I can flow chart this as well, just so that we can keep everything together. So let's kind of bring this over here so we can see everything at the same time. I'll bring this over, move this to this side, move that over. All right, let's open up our flow chart. I am going to bring in my terminal symbol, terminator right here. I'm going to say start. I'm going to bring this into a box for my declarations. Okay. And really, I'm just declaring these things. So honestly, if I've got my pseudocode already written, I might as well just copy and paste. So let's see if I can get that in there. Okay. And we'll open this up a little bit so it's nice and big. Get this back to horizontal, clean it up. All right, we're going to input the number of widgets. So remember, an input is a parallelogram. Good. We'll bring that up a little. We're going to do some processing. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set my total equal to widgets times my price. Remember, the price is already set at 2.25. And then I'm going to come into some conditions here. Okay. So first things first, let's come into a decision. So let's come here. We'll go to a diamond and we'll say if widget is greater than or equal to 20, then I want my total to be equal to total times 0.8. Let's move those flow lines from side to top. This is on the true side of things. Now, if that's not true, okay, then I want to come into another decision. I don't want to say widgets greater than or equal to 20. I want to know if they're greater than or equal to 10. Okay. Again, I'm going to bring that flow line down, keep it in line with my other one. I'm going to bring this flow line back to the top. This is on the false side of things. But if my widgets is greater than 10, I do want, not that line, might not be down far enough to me to do what I want to do. Come in, we're going to set total equal to total times 0.9. And again, I'm going to move that down, get my flow line to go back up to the top, which is always a good idea. So we're going to get that right here. Whoops. Let's see if we can clean that up a little. There we go. That doesn't seem to want to work. Let's just draw it. Connect from here to here. Perfect. This again on the true side of things. And then on the false, we're not doing anything, okay? But we do need to start bringing things back together. So I'm going to create a flow line out from here to about here. And I'm going to connect this one to it, bring it together. We can lose one of the arrows as we start cleaning this up. But then I do want a flow line to connect from here to something else. And really, it's my display that I'm connecting things to. So I'm going to drag this in and line it up directly underneath this diamond here so I can bring it right back to center. We're going to display total is our price. Close it, total. That a little bigger. Again, get it to fit under. Oops, don't need it to be that large. Get it to fit right under that. See how the lines kind of pop up right there, right through the middle? So I know I'm in the right spot. I can move it down a little further. But I want this flow line to connect here. I want this flow line to eventually connect out there. So we are going to buckle it a little. We'll move this one over just so that it's there. We'll get that to turn in this direction eventually. Where are we at? There we go. And we'll get that to come down, just to come over. And then we'll just kind of lose our arrows on these, just so it looks nice and neat. And there we go. We got a nice little flow chart. We just need another terminal symbol to stop all this. So let's bring in our terminal right here. Let's stop. Connect. And we have a flow chart. Very nice, neat, well organized. Everything's easy to follow. If my widget's greater than 20, do this and then display the total. If it's not greater than 20, it might be greater than 10. If it is, do this, display the total. If it's not greater than 20 and it's not greater than 10, then flow out and display the total for what it was. So everything works out fine. Our program should work perfectly. I think it's time we code our logic and see where it puts us. So again, let me open this new file up. I'll move this over to the side. We will keep our pseudocode there so that we're working with it. Okay, this is my sales problem. All right, so now normally I don't do anything with the declarations in Python, but I do have this one that's set equal to something. So I am going to actually set that first and foremost. Now there's no way to put in a name constant in Python other than to make it look like it's a constant by simply saying price equals 2.25. Okay, we can give it a comment saying that this is going to be a constant value for the price of a widget. Okay, that way at least we know what it is. And again, I'm going to make this equal to 2.25. Okay, now I can start getting into my logic. Here I want to input, so I need to get the widget number of widgets. That's going to be input, that's going to be converted into an integer. Now, I didn't write the prompt in my pseudocode, probably should have, but I think we all understand that when we do an input at this point in time, you're going to have some sort of prompt to go with it, and the prompt should be descriptive as to what you're inputting. From there, I can calculate my total. And I can start asking some questions. If my widget count, okay, widgets happens to be greater than or equal to, what do we say, 20, then I'm going to set my total equal to the total times 0.8. L if my widgets is greater than or equal to 10. I'm going to set my total. I'm going to show you a different way to do this. I'm going to say times equals 0.9. This is the exact same statement as saying total equals total times 0.9. This is a quick unary operator. It takes the 0.9, multiplies it by total, and resets it all at the same time. So whatever variable's on the left is what I'm multiplying by 0.9, and then it's being reset. And from there, we can do our print statement. I'm going to do a quick F string. That's going to be my formatted output. So I'm going to do F, and I'm going to say my total price. And in here, I can put my curly braces, right total. Want to put a little dollar sign there, I can. And then we'll close our quotes and close our parentheses, and we should have a fully functioning program. Let's save it and see where it goes. So let's put this where you can find it. Again, let's say I enter in, I don't know, 5 widgets. Oops, it says widget is not defined. That is going to happen from time to time. We got to see why. Okay, so first and foremost, this is happening in line 8, which happens to be right here. Widget is not the right variable name. Here I have widgets that I want to work with. So I did spell this wrong. So anytime you see this name is not defined, generally a spelling mistake. You can never use a variable on the right side of an equal sign before it appears on the left side of an equal sign. So let's go ahead and run this one more time and see what happens. I can type in 5 widgets and I get 1125, which to me is perfect. 5 times 2.25 is 11.25. Let's try it with a discount. Okay, so let's type in a 10. Okay, 10 times 2.25 should give me 22.5, but at a 10% discount, should be slightly cheaper, 20.25, which is perfect. And if I type in something in between, okay, like 15, I still get my 10% discount. You feel free to do the calculation, but I'm starting to trust that it's working. And if I do 20, I should get almost double what this is. But again, remember, it was a 20% discount, so it's not going to be quite double. It'll be a little less than that. So $36 altogether. Okay. So I know everything's working right. This is all put together. This brings in that IPO process from the last chapter along with our conditions. Obviously, our conditions can be a little bit more in terms of more complex, being nested. They could be independent events, mutually exclusive events, similar to what we have here. But either way, you've got to make sure that you can manipulate those Boolean conditions to work with the problem that you have at hand. Again, if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to let me know, and I'd be happy to help you out with any problems you're having.